And in the middle part of recovery, I don't know if it's after 90 days. People say that's when recovery begins, after the 90 days. But, hey, middle part of recovery. People always say that there is, when people go to the extreme, like as if there is no middle ground, there is no gray area. Either you are or you ain't. In the skies, you got gray skies. I understand, but it's the way and the manner in which a person uses a thing is important. But in the middle could mean medium, middle ground, a point where we can meet together in the middle. But we want to solidify change by putting one front in front of the other. There was a movie out, I can't recall if it was, I don't know if it was Dorothy or somebody, when the song says you put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. But the point, if you look at any military setting, they put one foot in front of the other. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Right foot supposedly represents strength, One step at a time. This is not going to happen overnight, this process, when it comes to recovery. Remember I said that we're all recovering from something. The reason why I say that things, but don't allow anyone to place stigmas on you, nor do you place stigmas on yourself. Don't do that. Don't allow it to happen. That's why I say we're all recovering from something. And not put anything before your recovery. There are some who say that they need a job. I understand you need a job. And some of you can go get a job. But is that helping you in your recovery? Is you putting the job before your recovery? It's like putting the buggy before the horse. The buggy is not going anywhere unless the horse is pulling it, Horsepower. And an engine has power, and the vehicle travels, the engine. But the engine needs maintenance work. It needs to be taken care of. The oil needs to be changed. The spark plugs may need to be changed. You got to keep up the maintenance work when it comes to recovery. Because you want to solidify the change, solidifying it on a daily basis, change. You want to be solid. You want to strengthen it, because in the early part of recovery, you have laid the foundation down. Now you want to make sure that foundation is strong to be able to withstand the stress, the struggle, and the strain. In doing so, you are setting new patterns of stability. You ever look at a nice stitched suit or stitched outfit? It's a beautiful pattern. It has fabric that is very quality of fabric, and it's stitched real beautiful. What does that mean? I say, if you look at yourself, you see how beautiful you have been put together. Why would you let something outside come in on the inside to mess up how you have been beautifully put together? When it comes to your senses, when it comes to your feelings, when it comes to your thoughts, your attitude, and the words that you use, your tongue, your nose, your mouth, all these things, man, that you have been beautifully stitched and put together, man. Why would you let something consume you and deteriorate and make you look as not the way that you were originally supposed to look? So we deal with setting in, which means you're settling in on the fact that you are willing to accept new practices and new behaviors in your recovery process. And when you practice you're settling in of new practice and new behavior, that means that those old feelings, those old thoughts, those old attitude, that old language, that old behavior is not there anymore. So you're settling in. You position yourself. If any of you ever watch baseball, you ever see a guy that comes up to hit and he makes sure his cleats are setting in so he can be grounded, where he can be able to hit the pitch that's coming his way. You want to position yourself, settle in. Like when you come into the program, you want to settle in. Because that means you are willing to go for the ride. And you're willing to go for the ride. That means you are settled in, you are determined, you are committed to go what? All the way with it. And then when you're settled in to go all the way with it, and then you start to gain strength. You become even stronger in your confidence. But then all of a sudden, be aware that you don't become what? Overconfident. And think that you got control of the situation, that you can handle it. And now that you have graduated or moved forward, that now you can take a drink or you can inhale or sniff, whatever you do, that you can do that and think that you can get away with it. So don't become too overconfident, because remember those things which you were unable to control. And it's controlling you. So don't let your becoming overconfidence to control you to a point that you become uncontrollable and your life become unmanageable and you become irresponsible again. Then you wind up right back on square what? One. But at least if you're on the square, you're on the block. Yeah. So you settle in and then you say, well, I'm going to do it what? Again. But then you're going to settle in a little more what? A little more stronger. Because you have much more determination, much more dedication, and much more committed. And then you develop a new awareness, And you say, whoa, I got a new awareness of an addictive behavior that I overlooked before. And now by me knowing that, I'm not going to be overconfident that I will overlook it again. And then you start to grow more stronger emotionally. And you start to grow more stronger mentally when it comes to this experience of recovery. And then you must accept the fact and not live in denial that which you did not recognize, that you were still acting out in your addictive behavior. And you have to be on point that when you interact with other people who may be trying to manipulate you, that they're acting out their addictive behavior. As they act out their addictive behavior, you be acting out you be a parlay to their addictive behavior, because you start supporting them. It's like you're giving money to the drug dealer, because they asking you to do something for them. That's why I say you have to always be clear that you have to guard yourself, guard your recovery. Be on guard. Be on post. Because we don't want you to go, and I'm not downplaying anyone, don't go postal, don't go crazy on it. Because you put yourself in a position where somebody has taken advantage of you and you allow them to do so. And then you are continuing or continued. Anytime you see the word ED at the end, it is complete. Continue the completion or complete the improvement in living a quality life. And how the evidence that you can see that you are improving, or the improvement of your quality life, you can see it in how you're managing, you're taking care of your physical health and feeling of your well-being. You improve upon your mood swings. And there's relief in chronic depression, anxiety, and anger. You're rebuilding or improving upon relationship with others when it comes to family, work, and social. Your financial situation is improving when it comes to your quality of life. And relationship with yourself or your spiritual side or of life or your higher power, that has improved. And finally, your plans, your goals, and your prospects for the future. If we can continue to clean up the wreckage, the destruction, the chaos, the confusion, the turmoil that we have left behind in the past. It could be done by some traumatic experience. That's in the past. And we're working daily to avoid avoidable suffering, because we don't want to lose ground. We want to gain the momentum that is needed in the areas of being honest with yourself and creating new patterns, doing early recovery, in the middle of recovery, and late recovery, because the late recovery deals with the maintenance and the continued growth when it comes to your recovery.